and welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy.
And I'm Addi.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. A little housekeeping before we dive into it. Next week, April 1st, we will not have an episode out. We're going to take a little break while our beloved Addi is on road trip.
Yay. If you miss us, feel free to watch one of our other 72 episodes. Send me good vibes. I'm about to be in a car for ballpark 19 hours.
I will send you all the well wishes in the best way I know how.
Spooky stories.
You got it, babes.
Ugh, after these, I'll never want to be on the road again.
On the road again.
I just can't wait to get on the road again.
If we sing it poorly, they can't copyright it, right? No, because
No,
there's
I
the whole
think-
drop it like it's hot thing.
Yeah, I think they still can.
Damn.
Yeah.
Story 1. True highway scary story. I was driving from Denver, Colorado to Albuquerque, New Mexico by myself. I enjoyed driving at night since it wasn't as hot, there were fewer police, and there was less traffic. I was also younger at the time, around 19 years old, so I wasn't armed with a handgun. When I entered Pueblo, Colorado, I decided to stop and get some Sonic.
It's so sad because I know exactly.
I just want to hear. I was like, does this feel familiar to you?
I was like, I know exactly which Sonic they've stopped at because I've stopped at this Sonic before.
Yeah, this was by design.
I pulled into Sonic on South Santa Fe Road and parked across from the drive-thru in one of the other spots facing away from the building. After ordering, I rolled my window back up. I normally wouldn't do that since I love the smell of fresh air at night, but I did for some reason this time. As I sat there waiting for my food and looking at my phone, I heard a very light tapping on my driver's side window. Startled, I looked up and saw a normal-looking woman standing right against the glass. She looked ordinary, but I felt a chilling sense that something was off. She motioned for me to roll the window down, but I refused and yelled through the glass asking what she wanted. She shouted that her car had broken down and pointed to a car that was stopped in the middle of the street. She asked if I would help her push it off the road into the adjacent parking lot. I looked around, and the eerie thing was that no one else was nearby. Normally, I'm very helpful and was raised to pull over and offer a hand whenever I could. However, as I thought about it, a cold feeling ran down my spine, and I sensed that I wasn't safe. I politely refused, but she kept insisting and wouldn't take my suggestion to ask the Sonic employees. She then reached her hand into her pocket and used her other hand to try to open my door. Thankfully, my car door was locked, which was pure coincidence. My uneasiness intensified, and I started shouting at her to get away from my vehicle. She gave me a dark stare for a moment and then suddenly ran back to the car she claimed was broken down. Immediately after, 3 large men run out of a dark alleyway near the parking lot and jump into the same broken-down car. She started it without any issue, and they sped off. So, don't go to Pueblo.
Yeah, well, I think we all been knowing that.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy.
This is not new information on Pueblo.
Yeah, no, this does not surprise me for Pueblo. Or whenever OP said they were going to Albuquerque too, I was like, oh, you
Watch
for
out.
a trip.
You stay in your car.
Quinn and I literally did this drive.
Yeah.
Driving from Denver to Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the entire drive I was like, because you
There's
do,
some
yeah.
sketch little
There's
towns
some-
out there.
You go through Pueblo, you go through Trinidad, and then you end up in Albuquerque, which is like the mecca of bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, Albuquerque. I know Albuquerque has some pretty spots, but like y'all got a lot. Literally, the 2 nights that we were there, we heard helicopters circling the city. There were bars on every single window. Like people, like our Airbnb hosts were like, "Do not go outside at night." I was like, "Where am I?" Like, I was like, "What is this?" To where people are like telling you not to walk outside the second the sun goes down. Like,
Literally.
that's crazy.
Literally. Have you been to Alamosa?
No.
So it's by the Great Sand Dunes National Park, and we went on a family trip there. Alamosa is a sketchy little town. I'm so sorry if you're from there, but like if you're from there, you should know it's a sketchy little town. The hotel that we stayed at, first off, my mom shouldn't be in charge of booking lodging.
Yeah.
Ever. But the people working at the hotel were super nice. The manager like came in, like greeted us and everything. And then he talked about how like people would break into the hotels and like steal the TVs. So he was showing us how they had to like mount them to the wall so people would stop doing that. He's like, you should park your car in front of the window. That way, if anyone's messing with it, you'll know, because that's a big problem.
Yeah.
I was like, how fast can we get out of Alamosa?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of cities like that all over the country, because like even in New Jersey, I like stayed at a hotel one time, and the owner of the hotel also told us the same thing, like park your car right in front of your hotel, because if somebody breaks into it, you can hear it and you can,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
so I've been through that, but yeah, it's like,
It's something like scarier when you're in the boonies for me.
yeah.
It's like a smaller town.
Yeah, because there's no
heebie-jeebies.
escape.
Yeah.
But yeah, going anywhere in Pueblo, especially at night, you're asking for trouble. I think it's crazy that the State Fair of Colorado is in Pueblo every year.
Yeah.
Like, of all places,
Why?
why Pueblo? That doesn't make any sense. You know,
Maybe it's for the green chili.
it is like they do advertise it as like green chili kind of thing, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like the State Fair, and I'm like, I want to go to a State Fair.
I love a state fair.
I love State Fair.
not going to that one.
No, exactly. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna end up on the other side of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Bitch, I love a Sonic. This could have happened to me.
Yeah. I also have I haven't been to Memphis in a long time, but I've like heard that it like in certain spots can be kind of like scary, like unsettling.
Yeah, totally.
And when we're driving around like the time that we're in Memphis, it'll be like really, really late at night. So I'm like, nice.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in Memphis, I think of that song. I was like,
Walking in Memphis. Yeah.
So maybe just like blast that, and you'll
Yeah,
feel
it'll be
safe.
fine. Yeah, it's like when you go into a scary game, but you blast Fergalicious in your
Exactly.
Your headphones.
Like
Yeah.
blast Fergalicious and Walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
No other songs.
Yeah, I think that'll keep us safe. I also am trying to familiarize myself with all the like tactics that are used in different car things. Like I know that you're not supposed to like flash your lights at somebody now, because that's apparently like can be a thing. Like if somebody's driving
What thing
without
is that?
It's like if you're driving without your headlights on, it can be somebody trying to like pull over and like carjack you or take you or something.
Huh.
But they're like, whoever flashes their lights at me first, basically, I'm going to follow them and then I'm going to get them to stop and that kind of thing.
That's wild.
There's also the like obviously the people who like pull off on the side of the road and look like they need help.
Yeah.
Or there's like unmarked police cars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, what else is there? There's
that baby carrier one. That
the
people were
baby
doing
carrier.
for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a
There's a
ton
lot
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to be careful while you're driving.
Yeah. To bring up Bettina, she's substantially more religious than I am, because I am not religious at all. And she's in this Bible study, and they're talking about if you're like when you're being like a bad person, quote unquote, are you doing that by like ignoring something, or are you, like you just like didn't mean to do it? So like doing it willingly versus not. And
Yeah.
she's like the only person in the room that admitted like, yeah, I know when I'm not helping someone. But also it's because reasons like this, where
Yeah.
it's like if I stop to help someone, are they actually someone in need of help, or they're a sex trafficker who's trying to kidnap
Are
me
they just
and
taking
steal
advantage
me?
of people? Like there are so many like panhandlers on the side of the road who are like,
Yeah.
like I saw a TikTok the other day where there was a lady in a parking lot and she was wearing like a $1,200 bracelet while she was like panhandling.
That's insane.
Yeah, and people were like,
Girl, why are you here?
yeah, or like the
Right.
people who like fake like the electric violins and stuff, and it's like,
right.
I get it. Like I get your bag.
I
get
so
it.
got by the electric violin. I was like, she's amazing. Why is she in this TJ Maxx parking lot? And I think you were the one who told me. Like, girls, no, that's not real. I was so impressed.
Yeah, it's really sad because it's like it plays on people's emotions, and like
Right.
you are like specifically targeting and manipulating people to feel bad for you to give you money.
Right.
Which again, I'm like, I understand in today's climate, like it sucks. Like nobody can fucking afford to eat. Like we're sending money to fucking Israel to fund wars, to blow up children in hospitals and schools, and like starve people in other countries. Meanwhile, people over here are starving and unable to eat or pay their bills or pay their gas or do anything.
Right.
Millions of people are houseless. Like there's so many like bad things. I get that. I get that it's hard, and I get that you have to like find your way through somehow. But when you're like manipulating people along the
Right.
process, like especially people that are just like you,
Right.
like we are all in the same position. We are all in this together. Like we are all trying, not all of us. The good side is
Yeah.
trying to fight the good fight, and we're all
Right.
trying to stick together. And it's stuff like that that like divides people, because
Right.
then you don't trust anyone anymore. Like you're like,
Right.
does this person, like I see on TikTok, like people are posting, my animal shelter needs to be saved. Like this
Yeah.
needs, my
Right.
dad needs help,
Yeah.
and it's like AI, and it's somebody
Totally.
taking all the
Yeah.
money for no reason, and it's like,
You're preying on good people.
yeah,
Which is why that people are like, there's less good people in the world. People don't want to help. It's like, yeah, because they've been preyed on.
yeah,
Like, eventually, at a certain point,
yeah.
you stop
It's like-
helping.
Yeah, it's evil, and it's like it's literally like villain origin stories for everyone.
Yeah.
Like you're taking one bad person and you're tainting a whole flock by just feeding and preying on the innocence of these other people. Like
Right.
it's just, yeah, it's disgusting.
Story
Anyway. Story 2. Americans who can go on road trips. What little town gave you the most creeps, like some Children of the Corn or crazy cult? We were on a road trip to visit family in another state and decided to take the long way to avoid turnpike fares, and so we could have more opportunities to stop to feed our young baby. Besides, you usually end up seeing some nice scenery and find nice little towns along the way when you get off the turnpikes and take the back roads, right? Along the way, we needed to stop to feed the baby, and we saw a campground sign. So we thought that could be a neat place to stop, since the sign said it had cabins, a lake, playgrounds, etc. We had our other young children with us, so this was a good place to take a break, have lunch, stretch our legs, and let the kids get out and run off some energy. We figured we might have to pay a small entrance fee to get in, but to our surprise, the campground owners allowed us to use the facilities and playground at no charge. And we thought ourselves fortunate to have come across such nice people in such a happy accident. You're right to hear ominous music in your head at this point. We parked by the playground, took out our food, set ourselves up a nice picnic table, had our lunch, and fed the baby, and after we ate, the two older kids played on the playground equipment with the campground owner's grandkids. The campground owners, a husband and wife, both older, maybe in their 70s, stayed around and chatted with us, which we felt was nice because they were telling us about the area and the campground, and they seemed like very nice people. I watched the kids playing and just kind of half listened to their conversation, which went something like this. My kids, "We're on a trip." Their grandkids, "You're not leaving from here." My kids, puzzled looks. "Yes, we are. We're just going to play for a little while, and then we're going. My mom said so." Their grandkids, "No, my grandma said you're staying. Like the last people that came here."
Huh?
Now I'm curious, I'm sure they're just talking about the people that come to camp here. My kids, "No, we have to go. We're going to a hotel tonight with a pool. It has a slide." Priorities. Their grandkids, "No, you're not. People always stay. We make them." What? At this point, the owner's grandkids' voices are loud and insistent, and I'm getting concerned because this is just getting weird. I tell my kids to come to the table and get cleaned up so they can leave, because something just feels off, which they seem really happy to do because they're getting freaked out too. The campground owners seem to notice their grandkids have said something that triggered us and suddenly shift the conversation and start talking about how they have church at the campground and everyone enjoys their services so much and we should stay. Why there's a service that night, as a matter of fact, and they'd love to have us stay for it. They'd put us up in one of their cabins, give us dinner, and provide bedding, etc.
We said we appreciated the offer, but no thanks, we had to get going. They started insisting we stay, like really strongly insisting, almost beyond the point of politeness, almost to the point of bullying, just very pushy, saying how it would be a shame if we drove when we were tired and got into an accident and something happened to the children, how we should really think of the children and their future and not put them in danger like that. I've never had anyone say anything like that to me before or since. I can't tell you how fast we packed up our things and left. To this day, I can't tell you exactly where it was, other than it was somewhere in West Virginia. I don't remember what area or what town it was near. I've never tried to avoid the turnpike again. I've gladly paid the turnpike fees and any time now. Maybe I was just overthinking it and they were being very concerned about it. But when I think back on it, I still think they were very, very weird people, and I'm glad we got out of there when we did.
Yeah, that's creepy.
They were gonna use you as human sacrifices. Clearly.
Yeah, obviously. We
there's-
just happen to have a service tonight.
Right, and you're the main part.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you come sit on this slab? Yeah, put on this white gown.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna put this hood over your head. Okay. Okay. You're gonna take this cup. Yep. Drink that. Yep. Go ahead. Yeah, I know it's sour. Keep going.
Whole thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey,
Yeah, don't worry about your kids. Don't worry about your kids. Yeah, you hear them screaming. It's just screams of having fun. They're just having a great
So
time.
fun.
Yeah.
So fun. It's a lake. It's a cabin.
God. Yeah. Yeah, that's terrifying. It reminds me of the movie The Visit
With the grandparents?
with the grandparents.
Yes,
and the,
I
and
thought
the
of that
kids.
too.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it's entirely different, but it's
But like
still, like
the same
creepy
like
grandparents.
creepy vibe.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Grimm. I finally finished it, so I'll stop talking about the series. There's an episode where was this Grimm? No, I started watching Supernatural per your recommendation. Episode of Supernatural where there's like there's a town and a couple will like drive through the town and they're like, oh no, like something's wrong with your car. Let me just fix it for you. Like I'm so helpful. While you're there, like go get a slice of pie, hang out.
Mhm.
Oh, it's gonna be overnight. Like we're just gonna help you. What a nice, helpful, cute little town. Human sacrifices to a god that makes sure that everything is abundant.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Supernatural. Thank you for putting me onto
It
it.
is so good. Just
Yeah.
once you get later into it too, it just like it gets. There are parts where it gets worse.
Yeah.
And then it gets better again.
Yeah. We got
And-
15 seasons to get good
Yeah,
again.
it's definitely a roller coaster.
Yeah.
By the end of it, you'll want to kill yourself. Maybe.
I mean,
yeah, it's
that's not that far off. But Jinx.
there's also the Strangers movie, the newest one.
I haven't seen the newest one.
Okay.
Oh, the first one freaked me out. So
Yes,
badly.
the Strangers was one of the because it's real, it's
Yeah.
realistic, and I think that's what makes a good scary movie is when it's like something that you can empathize with. Because for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, and then for especially a lot of women, like I'm very, very paranoid about my house safety.
Yes.
Like I am constantly checking doors, constantly checking windows, constantly like making sure that everything's where I left it.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that movie at the ripe age of like 12.
Oh my god.
Like,
At 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
yeah.
I was like 16 or 17 when I saw it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It
It was absolutely horrifying, and I didn't watch it again for a long time. And
Yeah.
even like I watched it again for the first time a few years ago, and even watching it again, I was like, this is terrifying.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
this
that
is
like
gut wrenching.
one shot where he's just in the house, like
Mhm.
thinking about it makes me sick still.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the newer one, which is awful, by the way, it's the whole premise is same exact premise. They go eat food at this diner. Everybody's looking at them weird. They come out, their car's all of a sudden having trouble.
Yeah.
And they were like, what the hell? Our car was fine. Now it's not. And the guy was like, I'll fix your car. It's going to take overnight. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, where are we supposed to stay in this tiny ass little hodunk town? Like,
Yeah.
and he's like, I got a cabin for you. And they sent him up to a cabin.
And that would do it.
Yep. And they
Yep.
get dropped off there too. It's not
Oh
even
my
like they
God.
like they
Like they literally like the mechanic takes them
Yeah.
from the mechanic shop
No,
to this
no
remote
fucking
cabin.
Way. No
yeah.
fucking way.
Yep. Yeah, why in a million years would anybody ever agree to that?
Like I'm sorry, like I would rather sleep on the floor at the mechanic shop. Like I'm not going to a random cabin.
yeah.
No.
No,
I've
absolutely
slept
not.
worse places. I can sleep on a mechanic's floor. Like no.
Yeah. What would you do in this instance? Like if you were in this situation and you were at a little playground.
See, my worry is sometimes I ride on vibes and I'm a fucking idiot and I miss cues. So I could imagine like the sun's out. When the sun's out, I'm a different person. I'm like so much happier. And I'm like, oh, the sun's out. This is so nice. This is so fun. Miss all of the red flags. And then just like, how fun. Let's stay a little night and then get human sacrificed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? This could be a cute little like getaway night. You know,
Yeah,
like
if they
you
catch me in
meet
a
the
good mood-
cabins. Like,
They catch me in a good mood, I'm dying.
yeah. I mean, honestly, that's fair. That's super fair. I feel like I'd probably be in the same boat because I like. It's hard for me to pick up on social cues sometimes. You know, like
Yeah.
you're talking, and especially like in my instance, I wouldn't have the kids there, so the
Yeah.
conversation never would have happened.
No.
So I'm imagining me and Q, we're just like hanging out. We're talking to this old couple, like their kids are playing over there, and we're just hanging out. And they're like, the church service wouldn't get me. I will say, I'd be
Yeah.
like, they'd be like, we're having a church service tonight. I'd be like, that probably would shit me. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie. That one, that thing alone,
that would be the one that
I'd be like,
yeah.
yeah, no.
See,
Thanks.
I just like am too polite sometimes. So I'd be like, I don't want to go, but like I'll go if you want me to go
Mm-hmm.
because this is important to you. But if we don't have to, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's how I've always been going to church. Like I'll go if you really want me to because it's important to you.
Yeah. I'm at
But I
the
don't want to be there.
yeah, I'm at the point in life where I'm like, if anybody asked me to go to church, I'd be like, I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I'll go
I'm
for
not-
like a baptism or something like that.
Yeah, if there's like
But-
an event
Yeah.
that takes place at a church, but it's for someone I love, that's
Yeah.
one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's like, will you go to a
Come to service.
come to service with me?
Yeah, I just like ever since I was a kid, I would just sit there and be like, I have a question, and
Yeah.
they're like, actually, we don't ask those.
Yeah.
Just shut up and take the information.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was never a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I'm like 1 + 1 does not equal 3. I'm not good at math, but something's off here.
Something's fishy.
Yeah. And it's not just what Jesus served for dinner. Story 3. Do we have any more to say on that?
No.
Okay. Story 3. Oh, okay. I got a little creeped when I was reading this one earlier.
Ooh.
Hopefully you get creeped too. Or not. Whatever. It's cool. If it's not creepy, it's fine. Never sleep in your car on a road trip. I'm from Connecticut. I was in a long-distance relationship with a girl from Georgia and would often make road trips down to visit her. I really don't mind. I love road trips. I've driven across the United States and back all on my own. There's just something about traveling down the highways of the U.S. by yourself that's so freeing. To save money, I would sleep in my car. It's not so bad. It's basically camping in a metal tent. Makes you feel like you're really roughing it. I would just recline the seat back, keep the key in the ignition just in case, and doze off. No, I wouldn't put anything to block the windows for privacy. Maybe I should have. The trip down south is a comfortable 2-day drive. My stop would usually be somewhere along the Virginia-North Carolina border. So for my previous trip, that's exactly where I stopped that night. Rest stops are often less trafficked and thus quieter than truck stops. Normally I would have stopped at a Love's, but I was so tired that I settled for the first rest stop I saw. It was oddly vacant that night, with only a couple lone cars forlorn under the amber street lamps. Likely travelers with the same idea as myself. I pulled into a parking spot away from the others, under the shadow of a tree and far from the street lamps. I figured I would have more privacy there as opposed to being bathed in light. So I did my usual thing, locked my doors, opened a window just a hair for ventilation, and kept my key in, reclined the seat, went to sleep. I was never interrupted on any of these car camping nights, so I never suspected anything on this one. Then a sharp tap woke me up. At first, I thought I heard it in my dream. I opened my eyes a bit confused. Since I was leaned back, I was facing the ceiling and couldn't see anything. I heard another tap, like a tiny object hitting a hard surface. It came in... Oh, this was a lot of R's. It came in an irregular rhythm. Can I have you say something for me?
Mm-hmm.
It came in an...
Irregular rhythm.
Thank you.
Just dump it in over your mouth.
Yeah, I can't say that. Irregular rhythm. It came in an...
Irregular rhythm.
Was it raining? Was water dropping onto my windshield? I'm under a tree. Maybe something fell from the branches. Maybe a squirrel or a bird dropped something. What if a squirrel was climbing around my car? Or what if it wasn't an animal? The thought occurred to me that it might very well be a person poking up around outside. What did they want? Were the doors locked? The keys, yes, they were in the ignition. I can leave in an instant. Still, I lay there, completely still, pretending to sleep. Pretending I hadn't heard anything. Hoping whatever it was, they would leave me alone. It was better not to find out, and I was too afraid to find out. It was better to stay in blissful ignorance. Still, the tapping continued. I had to do something. There was no way I was just going to stay there. I had to look. My heart was pounding. In that moment, it was deafeningly loud. Whoever was out there could probably hear it. I decided I was going to look. I was going to raise my head up and see what was making the noise. So that's what I did. What my eyes met sent a jolt through my entire body. Every muscle fiber locked up in pure shock at what I saw. The faint glow of the street lamp cast just enough light for me to make out what I was looking at. There, in the windshield, staring directly at me, was a face. Someone I presumed to be a woman, lying on my hood, her face pressed right up against my windshield. Her face was completely still, locked in a permanent grin. I froze in an overwhelming terror. The eyes I stared into appeared to have rolled back, showing only the whites. The nose was turned up, pressed painfully against the glass. The lips stretched wide, revealing horrid, rotten teeth. Even in the darkness, I could see her skin was sickly pale, contrasting her long, filthy black hair. Whoever it was, she was clearly not in her right mind. I don't know how long I sat there, too afraid to move. Finally, I got a grip on myself and shot my hand to the ignition. It turned over, making that instant, most beautiful sound I've ever heard. For a split second, I was afraid I might be caught in a horror movie scenario, the one where the car wouldn't work as the killer approaches. I reversed as fast as I could, trying not to give this creeper any time to try anything. In my panic, I remember activating the windshield wipers. In a panic, I remember activating the windshield wipers in a futile attempt to get her off. Just like... I thought I was about to drive out of there with some wacko holding onto my hood. Thankfully, I didn't have to worry about that because as soon as I stopped, the woman leapt off, landing on all fours. Seeing my opportunity, I shifted into drive and gunned it. Right as I saw her reaching for the driver's side door, with my foot on the gas, I sped out of the parking lot. Behind me, I heard her let out a piercing shriek like that of an animal, and I looked in my rearview mirror for a split second, and I thought I saw her chasing me, running on all fours, with her black hair swinging wildly around her. I couldn't get a good look as I rounded the curve on the road leading out of that rest stop and merged onto the highway. There, I picked up speed and drove through the night. I didn't dare stop again until I saw morning light.
What did you tell your girlfriend when you got there?
Babe, guess, babe, what?
There was a girl.
There was a girl. I was sleeping at the rest stop, and a girl tapped on. She tapped on your window.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Yeah. Is that why you're late? Is that why you always sleep in your car?
Yeah.
Mm.
No, that's terrifying. That's absolutely horrifying. I have slept at so many rest stops.
Yeah.
Like, so I have, because I did a whole countrywide trip in my car.
Right.
And I used to live in an RV.
Mm-hmm.
So I've driven my RV, like, from New Jersey to Florida to Texas. And, like, those are long drives. You have to stop halfway.
You gotta.
Especially in an RV.
Yeah.
And I've slept in a lot of rest stops. And thankfully, Nothing's ever happened.
None of this.
No, but I have my windows covered.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like
1,000%.
the biggest thing that you can do if you're going to sleep in your car, especially
Definitely cover your windows.
just your windshield even.
Right.
They make
Something.
They make covers
Yeah.
that you could just
Mm-hmm.
pop up there really easy.
Yeah.
Really easy.
Yeah. You want to be sitting in a little fishbowl for anyone to walk up and go,
That's
what happened.
Yeah. So it was
like, just nose pushed up.
God.
See, me hearing Virginia, North Carolina border, I'm like, hill people. That's what this is, hill people. She was like, I like you.
Yeah, I think you're pretty. I think you make a fine husband.
She was about to drag you into the hills.
I need to start having 16 kids.
Your girlfriend's like, I knew there was another woman.
I knew it. I could smell it on you. Oh my God.
What is her name?
Whose
hate this.
long dark hair is this?
Babe, you have long dark. Imagine like his girlfriend also has long dark hair, and she's like, he gets there, like goes to bed, and like wakes up, and is like,
She has like scratches on her hands and on her feet. 'Cause she like landed on
Right.
She's like
running on all fours.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, I never noticed. You're actually like really good at running on all fours. You ever done that before? In the
I think
woods?
it'd be really fun to get good at running on all fours.
Do you think that guy is still doing it?
What guy?
On TikTok during COVID, there was this guy that was like,
Oh.
day 10,000 of running on all fours, and he got really fucking good at it.
I would assume so, but I also don't know because there are like so many trends that like there's like the Chica Chica dance guy. He's still fucking going.
Yeah.
It's been 1,200 days and this man does not have
Still do it.
a girlfriend.
Huh.
But then like the girl who collects her hair.
Yeah, she stopped. She's like, I'm done now. And I remember all the comments being like, I can't believe I've seen this thing from the beginning.
Yeah, people
I'm
are like,
emotional.
what the hell? Like you can't just stop.
Great.
Yeah.
Tape your hair onto the wall.
Dude, yeah, but we still got
You know what that'll have to do? Because I'm really going to miss that wad of hair on the wall.
yeah, her little blonde streaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up later when I edit this, because that's when I'll remember that I'm supposed to look it up.
Yeah,
See if he's
let
still
me
running on
know.
all fours. Yeah, he was like getting like, I don't like it.
I think
He was
it'd be
getting
cool.
fast.
I wonder if I could run faster on all fours than I can run in real life. Or on two legs. They're both in real life. But
The way I didn't even clock. That might be good. Still doesn't have a girlfriend, huh?
Nope.
What's your armed ratio in comparison to the rest of your body? You got like,
I feel like my arms are short.
yeah. I learned at the Children's Museum that I have a long wingspan for my height.
I don't know how I'm supposed to measure this.
Yeah.
I'm at hip level and my arms go down to my shins.
Okay.
So
Yeah. We'll go to the Children's Museum on like a
Okay.
Friday night when there's no kids, and I don't know if they still have this, but like they had a thing that like measured
Yeah.
your wingspan,
yeah.
and they're like, you should be like 5'5", and I was like, man, shut the fuck up, because I'm not.
Yeah.
You just told me a long ass arm. Yeah. I dated a guy who had the longest arms I've ever seen. He was like 5'8", and he could like standing up straight could like scratch his knee with his finger.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would have sucked if he was a girl and had to get dress coded at school.
Wearing the longest skirts.
Why was that even a like measurement? Like it has to be
Right.
below your fingertips. I'm like, okay, well, what if I got really short arms?
Right. What if I'm a T-Rex?
Yeah.
Huh?
What if I don't have any arms? That's pretty ableist of you.
That's so ableist.
Rude.
Rude.
Story 4.
The way my brain was just like, done.
Story 4. Road trip scary story.
Great title.
This happened to me 3 years ago when my family and I went on a road trip to New York. We lived in California and the plane tickets to New York were really expensive, so my dad decided we would drive there. We were somewhere in Indiana and it was like 11 p.m. We were on a really deserted road and we hadn't seen a car in 20 minutes. Just then, we saw a car stopped on the side of the road. My dad was a really nice guy, and he would always offer to help someone who needed it, so we stopped. I was annoyed because I was tired and I just wanted to get to our hotel. I could see my dad and the other guy talking. The guy looked like a middle-aged man, and honestly, he looked normal. They were talking for a few minutes when I saw my dad going back to the car. He got in the car and gunned it down the road. I was like, what the fuck? That was very unusual for him to do something like that. He did not say a single word for the rest of the ride. We got to our hotel like 30 minutes later. My dad had never told anyone what he saw, but he finally told me last week. Apparently, when he got to the guy's car, he said that he had a flat tire and asked my dad to help him. My dad said him and the guy talked for a couple minutes when my dad noticed what looked to be a body bag in the backseat with a shotgun also in the backseat. My dad said he told the guy he would go to his car and get his tools, and that's when he sped off. This story was a lot scarier when I heard the backstory. Who knows what would have happened if we stayed there.
Well, you would have been in the body bag too.
Yeah.
Apparently. Or he's just like a hitman who's like, shit.
He actually did have a flat tire.
Right.
He's like, please God, somebody help me so I
Right.
can get away.
I gotta get rid of this body.
I gotta get out of
I
here.
get stay here till dawn.
Yeah.
Can't call a tow truck.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. I
Please
wonder.
pull over. Hey, you need any help, buddy? You got a body and a shotgun in the back. I'm good. I'm gonna die out here. It's cool.
What if it's like the body of like his dog or something?
Yeah, he's having the worst day anyway.
He is having the absolute worst luck.
Mhm.
It's like one of those like it's like
It's
a
like an
Tucker and
old
Dale
yeller.
versus die,
Yeah.
versus die like kind of thing. He's like just a guy. His dog died. His wife left him. He's
Yeah.
like trying to go out and give his dog like a really nice burial.
Yeah.
and he's like taking the shotgun because it is late at night and he doesn't want to like
There's
encounter
bears out
anything.
there.
Yeah, and he's like on his way out and he's listening to Willie Nelson. He's crying, and then he hears a pop and he's like, God damn it! Just the last fucking thing I needed.
Yep. You know what? I bet that's exactly what happened. And if I could cry right now, I probably would. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Or he's a murderer.
Or other option, he's just a murderer.
Yeah, either one could be true.
Yeah. I got stuck on the side of the road when I was maybe. I had to have been maybe 11. I was 11, my brother was 13, and my sister was 1. My mom was driving us from Texas up to Colorado, and we got stuck in the middle of this like desert area. There's nothing there. And I blame my brother for this because I'm a little stitious. And he saw some like ravens and he's like, oh, that's an omen. That's a sign. Something bad's going to happen. And I was like, yo, shut the fuck up. Right after he said that, tire pops.
Oh my God.
My mom goes to try to change the tire with her and her like shit kids in the car. And it like comes off crooked. So then we can't get the tire off.
Oh God.
So we're stuck in the desert for 8 hours. My mom almost got OnStar, but her husband at the time was like, you don't need OnStar. No cell service. So we had to wait 8 hours for a tow truck to just happen to drive through. It was like, you need some help, little lady? And she's like, thank God, please. We're
Yeah.
going to die in this desert.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Thankfully, my mom, she packs for a trip like we're going to be like rationing in the desert for days
Yeah.
before that trip. So it's like, yeah, you want a Rice Krispie? We got like 27 bottles of water. We're good.
Hell yeah. That's lucky.
Thank God.
Yeah. I have 2 side of the road stories.
Yeah.
The first one is mine, but it was like when I lived in Michigan with my dad like drove this like shitty beat up like 1980s van. We called it Rocket Rhonda. So it looked like a rocket. It was old as fuck.
Yeah.
But she broke down all the time. And we were driving from our little town to another little town a little bit over. And she like broke down on the side of the road in this town. Thankfully, it was like in this town, but it was still like a 3-mile walk from the AutoZone.
Okay.
So we like got out of the car and my dad had us like help push it into a neighborhood. And we like start like our trek, like walking to this AutoZone. And I was like so upset because I had cheer camp that night, like a
Oh.
lock-in, like
Yeah.
a cheer camp lock-in. And I was like, I have to get to this. Like it's my
Right.
one thing. And this guy pulls up in another minivan and he was like, you guys need some help? Like a very like Ned Flanders, like, you guys need some help? And we were like,
And I was like, yes, sir, we do. You know, he took us to AutoZone and then took us back to our car. And then my dad fixed the car and then we were able to like drive home. But like a few days later, the guy like shows up at our house.
That's insane.
Yeah, like
I don't
shows
like
up.
that.
Yeah, and so I don't know if like my dad gave him our number or what,
Right.
but like he just shows up at our house and he was like, I thought that I should invite you guys to church. And my dad was like, okay.
Murder. Oh my God.
Yeah. And he was like, I can drive you guys. And we were like, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we got it. But that's my first story.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy happened, but that was it.
Yeah.
And then
someone came to your door and was like, church?
that is crazy. And then the second story, right after I moved here, I was driving on one of the like highways, but it's like kind of twisty because I lived on the east side of the city or the west side of the city, like south of the highway that goes horizontal.
Yeah.
And I was like driving around a curb that's by that old amusement park, and it was pouring rain, like pouring. And there was a car that was like spread across 2 of the 3 lanes.
Yeah.
And like their lights were flashing. And then there was this like woman who was like looked massively pregnant.
Yeah.
And she was like in the middle of the street, like flagging people, like trying to like wave people down.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, that's scary as fuck. You should get off the side of the fucking road. If first of all, if you're pregnant.
Right.
Second of all, I'm not going to stop in the middle of the pouring rain on the side of a highway for you. Like, that's crazy because I also
Call the
don't know.
police.
Yeah, call
Yeah.
the police. I don't know you.
Right. Is
Could
this
be
a trap?
yeah,
Is
it
this a
could be a
trap?
trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, playing up on the
insane.
like, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
literally was like stunned
Yeah.
as I was driving. I was like I'm pretty sure because I had to just like
God.
swerve out of the way. I was like, holy fuck! And then I was like,
yeah.
like
I feel
literally
like
the
your
whole way
brain
home.
is like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly, like near
Yeah.
death experience almost.
I went to school in California, so we had to like drive back and forth. And I had a boyfriend going out there, and then we broke up while we were in college. But we're from the same town, and I didn't have a car, so we would carpool 12 hours, which was so fun. And going back to California, I was driving the first half up to Mesquite, and I was like, your steering wheel, it's too hard to pull, like it feels weird. And he's like, oh, you've just never driven this long, so your arms must be tired. And I was like, yeah, doing this for too long is gonna make my arms so tired that when I'm driving through, like, there's that like little mountainous section in Arizona. It's like when I'm driving through this, I have to yank your steering wheel side to side. I was like, something's wrong with your car. He's like, it's fine, and like slept. So because I'm spiteful, I drove his car until it started smoking,
Oh my god.
which was right outside of Mesquite, actually, where we were gonna stay.
Yeah.
Smoke is coming out from it, and he's like, you should pull over. And I was like, yeah, we're almost there though. I think it's fine. I think you're just tired. And turns out his timing belt broke, and so like the power steering went out, and a bunch of like cascading failures were happening in his car. And because we were under 21, we like go to the hotel to like try to get a room, and they're like, it's a casino, so you have to be 21 to get a room. And I look at the man and I was like, hey, so this is the day I'm having right now. And he's like, I'm gonna find you something. He calls his dad. His dad like drives from Grand Junction to Mesquite to like help us out. And his dad's like, what the fuck, Adam? What's going on? I don't think I've ever screamed I told you so many times in my life. Fuck that guy.
I
What a fucking idiot. Back to us though. Did those stories help you get in the road trip mindset?
Girl, no. Now I don't want to go.
Darn it. I guess you have to stay and hang out with me.
Oh, brother, I see where this is going. If you want to stay and hang out with Jazzy and keep her company while I'm gone, be sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you send it out to all of your friends so that way we can have more engagement. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. You can find us on every streaming platform. You can also find us on all of the social media platforms at @whatwasthat_the pod. We also have a Reddit, if you want to join our Reddit and post your stories there.
Please do.
Or if you want to email us your stories instead, more anonymous, you can email us at whatwasthat.thepod@gmail.com.
I guess I'll get out of your hair so you can get ready to hit the road.
I remember this one road trip wait, what was that?